Most people don't fail at fitness because they're lazy. They fail because they're overwhelmed. They try to fix everything at once: their diet, their training, their sleep, their habits, their mindset. And within a few weeks, it becomes too much. So they stop. Or they restart with a new plan, then stop again. And that cycle repeats for years. But here's the uncomfortable truth: the people who actually get lean and stay lean aren't doing more, they're doing less but consistently. And that's why the top 5% succeed where 95% fail. Not because they're more motivated, but because they build systems that make success simple. Before we go further, why listen to me? Because I've helped hundreds of men lose body fat, build muscle, and completely transform their physiques by cutting through complexity and building systems that actually work in real life. And I see the same pattern every time. Jack lost 18.6 kg in 9 months after years of starting and stopping. Once structure and accountability were introduced, simple training, clear nutrition targets, and weekly check-ins, everything changed. He didn't just lose weight, he built consistency and confidence he'd never had before. Jan, a busy professional constantly traveling for work, struggled for years to stay on track. But once we built a system around his lifestyle, not against it, he dropped from 85.5 kg to 80.5 in 39 weeks, while learning how to stay consistent in hotels, airports, and unpredictable schedules. Different lives, same principle. When you simplify the process and add structure, results stop being random. So let's break down what the top 5% actually do differently. Strategy 1 is stop trying to fix everything at once. Most people try to overhaul their entire life in a week. They go from no tracking to perfect macros, no training to 6 gym sessions, no structure to strict meal plans, and no movement to extreme cardio. And for a few days it feels motivating, but it's not sustainable, because change that is too aggressive almost always collapses. The solution is simplicity, not perfection. Jack experienced this directly. Before coaching, he tried to go all in, then burnt out within a few weeks. But once we stripped everything back to a few key habits, training, steps, and structured nutrition, he finally built momentum that lasted. Because consistency doesn't come from doing everything, it comes from doing a few things properly. Strategy 2 is build a damage control system. Even with the best plan, you will still slip up. That's normal. The difference is what happens next. Most people make one mistake and turn it into a spiral. One bad meal equals a bad day, bad weekend, full reset. And suddenly progress disappears. The top 5% do something different. They recover quickly. If they overeat, the next meal is structured and high protein. If they miss steps, they increase activity the next day. They don't restart, they adjust immediately. This is exactly what kept Jack moving forward. He didn't avoid mistakes, he just never let them turn into momentum killers. Because consistency isn't about perfection, it's about recovery speed. Strategy 3 is to shift your identity. This is where real change happens. Most people see fitness as something they do, a phase, a project, a temporary challenge. But the top 5% see it differently. It becomes part of who they are, basically. I'm someone who trains. I'm someone who looks after myself. Not obsessively, but just consistency. Jan is a perfect example of this shift. Before coaching, fitness had to compete with everything else in his life: travel, work, family, stress. But over time, he stopped trying to fit fitness in and instead became someone who naturally made it work anywhere. Hotel, gyms, travel days, busy weeks included. That identity shift removed friction, and friction is what breaks consistency. Strategy 4 is to use the no 0 days rule. One of the most powerful principles in fitness is simple: never do nothing. Even on bad days, even when motivation is low, even when life is chaotic, you do something small. A walk, a short session, a few minutes of movement. It doesn't matter how small it is. What matters is that you keep doing it, because once you break the chain, restarting becomes harder than maintaining. Jack actually built a lot of his momentum this way. Even on off days, he didn't disappear. He stayed engaged, stayed accountable, and kept the chain alive. And that's what separates consistency from inconsistency. It's not intensity, it's continuity. Now here's the simple foundation. If everything still feels complicated, simplify it further. You only need 3 fundamentals: diet, 2 to 3 structured meals per day, high protein, minimal mindless snacking, repeatable structure. Then we've got training, 3 sessions per week, focus on progression, not perfection, get stronger over time. Then we've got activity, so daily walking, 20 to 30 minutes once or twice per day. This alone builds a strong fat loss baseline without burnout. Jan's transformation was built exactly around this principle. Simple habits that could be repeated even during travel, setbacks, and busy weeks. The reason 95% of people fail at fitness isn't the lack of knowledge, it's overcomplication. They try to do too much. They restart too often. They chase perfect weeks instead of consistent ones. But the top 5%, they simplify, they structure, and they stay consistent long enough for results to compound. Jack didn't succeed because he had a perfect plan. He succeeded because he finally stuck to a simple one long enough to see change. Jan didn't succeed because life got easier. He succeeded because he built a system that worked even when life wasn't. That's the real difference. So if you take one thing from this video, take this. You don't need more information. You need less complexity, because when confusion disappears, consistency becomes inevitable. And once consistency is inevitable, results follow naturally. Now, if you found this helpful, hit like and subscribe for more evidence-based content. And let me know in the comments, what's the one habit you think is holding you back most right now? And if you want simple daily fat loss and muscle gain tips, drop me a follow on Instagram as well. And I'll see you in the next video.